Canes fam. Canes fans, what's going on, man? I'm chilling. I'm sitting here procrastinating. I got some assignments I got to turn in. Hey, word of advice. Knowing what I've done now, knowing what I know now, instead of going to the military and spending a bunch of years in the military and then going to college when I got out, I should have gone to college first because I got so many damn cobwebs in my brain, man. You know, but it's all good. It's never too late. Always be improving. Gotta fight the good fight. Always think of others first. You know what I'm saying? Always try to make yourself a better man at every age, at every stage in life. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the you, baby. Oh, and shout out to my dad's old, city of Miami Fire Department. My pops. I got a bunch of these shirts that I be wearing. My dad spent 33 years as a city of Miami firefighter. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, yeah. So I'll be wearing these around the house, and I live out in Central Texas. So, people they always ask about it. I'm like, were you a firefighter? I'm like, nah, man. My dad, he was down in Miami. They got a high speed fire department down there, high speed, low drag. Um, Man, that game today, Toledo versus Miami, 49-24. It's a good win for Miami. Great win. A win is a win is a win. But and here's what I'm gonna say. But okay, and the guys don't peg me as a negative Nancy. I'm just being realistic here. Okay, pragmatic, is that the word? Is that the term? Look, man, you can kind of consider it fool's gold. There's a couple of things I'm just gonna point out. It's a good win. A little less excited about this win than I was last week, and that's because I saw a lot more of some of the I saw a lot more of the other quarterbacks and underclassmen last week. This week it was the Malik show. Um, and there's a couple of things. All right, the defense did what they had to do to win. It was nothing spectacular on defense today. I'm pretty sure if they'd have played a bit harder and had a more complex scheme, that they could have held them to under 24 points. I think potentially they probably could have held that team to 14 points. But there was some lackadaisical play there because they knew they were winning the game. That's just how it is. Athletes were out there like, look, these guys aren't beating us today. Um, I don't want to say lackadaisical. They probably could have played harder. You know what I'm saying? But they did what they had to do. A lot of blitzing. You know what I'm saying? They do that a lot. I just hope they don't get exposed against a great quarterback because Burrow isn't the best quarterback that they're gonna see this season. Not by any means, but um, so the defense did what they had to do. Kudos to them. Jaquan Johnson, that kind of took my breath away a little bit. Him getting hurt. Uh, I don't think if depending on the severity of his injury, we're playing FIU next week, man. Let that kid sit out. Look, Jaquan, you just take a rest because week after next we're going into ACC play and we need you at 100%. Okay. Um, and then I hope that the defensive scheme gets a little bit more complex. You got the athletes now. Depth is not an issue on defense anymore, so we don't need to blitz as much. We've got athletes now. We got depth. We got size, speed, and athleticism in the secondary in particular. So we can shut it down if we need to. We can cover. I don't think there's a receiving core in the ACC right now that would burn us and embarrass us. Okay, and our defensive line with Gerald Willis and Nestor Severa, we're good enough. Our defensive ends, Joe Jackson, we're good enough. Granted that these referees don't let every offensive line get away with holding our defensive ends, choke holding and doing rear naked chokes on our defensive ends. I think we can apply enough pressure on every offense that we're going to see for the rest of the season where we don't have to do so much blitzing. But Manny Diaz likes chaos, man. He's like Kronos, dude. He likes to just rip things up and eat the children. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. My main issue is the same issue you heard from me last week and the issue you heard from me before. It's unimaginative play calling and Subpar quarterback play. Malik Rozier had a great game today by Malik Rozier standards. He ran for a bunch of touchdowns, threw for a bunch of touchdowns. What peeved me off was is that I didn't see Perry come in until the latter end of the fourth quarter. And when he did came in, it was 3-and-out run plays, man. 3-and-out. And it was the exact same 3 run plays. Just lazy, unimaginative play calling. It's like old school high school football play calling, man. It's starting to get frustrating with it, you know. And I'm thinking, well, maybe he's just, keeping his tabs on it, and he's going to open the floodgates during the ACC conference play. But I don't know. I think I'm holding I'm keeping my hopes up high. Um, Also, offensive line is doing what it's got to do, man. I'm giving offensive line so far this season. I'm giving them a B- grade because they're doing what they can with what they got. Uh, they're having to deal with poor coaching, poor play calling, and it's just stubborn play calling. Really, there's this incessant need to try to do this power game and run up the gut, and it worked today. Didn't get exposed today, but it's Toledo. And then with the quarterback play with Rozier, you still saw the issues with accuracy and touch. Okay, he's still an average at best quarterback when it comes to passing the ball. You know what I mean? And then we've got too many weapons. We've got too many weapons at the skill positions for the ball to be distributed around the field as little as it's been distributed, and that's because of the level and skill of quarterback play. Okay. I mean, can you imagine right now, even with this offensive line? And I don't mean to be nostalgic or all, but can you imagine a Ken Dorsey or even a Brock Berlin with the weapons at skill position that we got right now? Okay. And I'm not saying, look, we know what Ken Dorsey had at the skill position, but I'm talking about like right now. And what I mean is a guy who was tall enough to see over the line, didn't make mistakes, had a good arm, had a deep ball, but more important than the deep ball, had an accurate ball for short and mid range passing, and can recognize the defenses and cut up blitzes and didn't make mistakes and saw everything coming at like was almost like a step ahead. Can you imagine? With the tight ends and the running backs that we got and the wide receivers. And then, I saw a graphic today on the game where they showed the top 4 highest recruited dual threat quarterbacks of 2016-17. You know who those 4 quarterbacks were? Tua Tagovailoa. What's he doing right now? He's starting at Alabama. Kellen Bond, what is he doing right now? He's starting at A&M. And they're winning football games. And nobody's holding that A&M loss at Clemson against their quarterback. A lot of people say they lost because of a bad call. Um, and there's another kid, I think he plays for Texas, I think. Either way, he's starting. And the 4th kid was N'Kosi Perry. Okay? And N'Kosi Perry, what is he doing? He's being treated like he's nothing more than a second string quarterback, man. I don't want to get into it right now. I don't have the patience or the motivation right now to kind of explain my theory and what I think about it. I think it's in a nutshell, it's an attempt to extend the honeymoon period and I don't know, try to this incessant old school need to live and die by the upperclassmen, which is antiquated as the play calling. But look, a win is a win. It's a great day for Miami Hurricane football. Look, Mark Rick has breathed life back into this program. Okay, he really has. He's made the job attractive again. These just little nitpicky things that I'm pointing out. Because we're getting ready to go into ACC play. We got one loss, but on a side note, if I haven't already mentioned about that one loss, LSU's legit, folks. LSU is legit. They beat 2 top 10 teams within a span of 3 weeks. And one of those top 10 teams they beat on a season opener on a neutral field. And the other top 10 team they beat on the road from behind. So that loss, if Miami, and the reason why I mentioned that, if Miami can hold on to just one loss and they can win out, okay, and win the ACC Coastal, and they go into the ACC championship game, if LSU continues to do what they're doing and they're winning and they win games, the polls are going to look at that and they're just going to be like, well, Miami's only loss was to LSU. LSU's a pretty damn good team. So Miami's actually legit. It'll favor us. It'll help us out. So that's not an LSU fan and I'm not an Auburn fan, but just from the perspective of how it's going to affect Miami in the polls later on in the season. Yeah, that was LSU's legit, and that's good. That at least at the very minimum, we lost to a team that's less talented than us because of poor play calling and quarterback play and lack of preparation and special teams. But still, we can win out, and that's going to look good for us. That okay, hey, you know what? These guys, they've only got one loss on the season. They get ready to go into the ACC championship game. Who do they lose to? LSU. LSU, they might be going to the SEC championship game. We don't know. So they're gonna look at that. They're gonna take that into account. So yeah, man, that's it. That's my rant. Great day to be a Miami Hurricane fan. They won. Anytime Miami Hurricanes win, whether it's by 1 point or 30 points, it's a good win. But as long as it is a win. Okay? And hey y'all have a good night. Them for you Dolphins fans. The Dolphins are playing the Jets tomorrow. Man, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm not even going to try to get into talking about NFL about the Dolphins on these video blogs. A couple of quick mentions, but yeah, it is. We'll see. Hey, y'all. Anyway, I'm rambling. Y'all have a good night.